I'm in a bit of one of those Saw movie scenarios, except instead of having to dig a key out of somebody's intestines or whatever, I have to drink box wine and watch the presidential debate. They have both candidates in a split screen so they can be 6 feet apart, and it has kind of this butt vision thing jumping off. Separated by an ass crack. Get him, Biden. Get him. Get him. I mean, unfair and impartial. Having someone named Chris Wallace moderate this who isn't Biggie Smalls, or at least a hologram of Biggie Smalls, is some cock blocking, blue balls bullshit if I've ever seen it. Baby, baby!
I was put through. I had to close the greatest economy in the history of our country. And by the way, now it's being built again.
See, he's going after the economy in the next segment, sir.
Fast.
Okay. When it comes to how
Biden with a snappy tie and just a outstanding pocket square. It's doing a mountain thing. But Trump, as per usual, looks like he was shopping at a fucking umpire's yard sale. Who dresses you? Dilbert looks at you and is like, tighten it up, buddy. I think Trump must take a bottle of ocean spray into the barber and be like, give me one of these. The guy's like, and then he takes the Sunny D into the tanning spray people and he's like, give me this. And they're like, oh shit, Trump just still have plenty of time after the election. Yeah, 25 to life, dude. Oh, it's getting ugly now. Trump's bitch face is coming out. Biden just asked Trump, will you shut up, man? Which, needs to be his campaign slogan. Knock, knock. Who's there? Interrupting Trump. Interrupting Trump. Mendes!
Well, he's just shush for a minute. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say
Look at Trump. He's got mask envy. His mask is so huge. Tremendous. It's the biggest mask we've ever seen.
I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Sooner. It's a very political thing because people like this.
Vice President Biden, your thought on Mask? It was a tremendous movie. I thought Cher did a great job. Sam Elliott, as usual. I like your style, dude. I like yours too, man. You got the little cowboy thing going on. How can anyone be shocked Trump is anti-mask? The dude raw dogs porn stars and lets hookers piss on his bed. All right? Yeah, I don't really think it is his thing. Trump blaming China for the plague, but not, blaming them for his daughter's fashion line or his hats. Buy this tie, buy these steaks before they go bankrupt, and I have to pretend I don't know where they came from. Of course I'm a criminal and a liar and a cheat. It's because I'm smart. And now for this next question, I'm going to turn it over to the My Pillow guy. I will 100% be voting for Biden, but his eyes are black, like a doll's eyes. Biden spitting truth. Hot, I spit hot fire. Where you at now, corn pop? Chris Wallace needs to get out of his chair, go up there, and smack the shit out of him. I mean, preferably Three Stooges style, Two Stooges style, and then Trump 15 of them.
Your first year as president that you paid $750
oh,
a year
taxes.
in federal.
Look at Biden. Oh, Biden leading into the tax returns like some freshly washed hair. He's like, show us your tax returns. Let me get a look at your tax returns. I bet your tax returns are delicious.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and
Uncle
2017?
John! Oh my God, Trump. Get him, Joe. Creepy on him. Creepy on him. Eyes black like a doll's eyes.
Everybody's had a test, and you've had.
Oh, he's saying it. He's saying it.
I was a private business people. Like every other private person, unless they're stupid, they go through the laws, and that's what it is.
He's admitting tax evasion on national television.
Privileges for depreciation.
Holy shit, this motherfucker's going to Yale. Full scholarship.
We get tax credits like the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue. You get a massive, which, by the way, was given to me by the...
Biden's got the same face I do right now. He's just like, this motherfucker's admitting to tax evasion on television.
Right after that happened, but...
I mean, the Senate's corrupt. They're not going to do anything, but I'm just saying. It's like... Yeah, I took the Lindbergh baby and I blew up the Hindenburg. It's smart. It's good business.
on the money a school teacher made.
They've never
Trump
forgotten
accusing
the Jeff
Biden
Sessions
of being
said,
both
"Let's do it."
lawless
So you did that,
and too
they
tough
called
on
you super
crime.
predator, and I'm letting people out of jail now that you have treated the African American predators, and you've called them worse than that.
Whenever I see
Because
Trump,
you
I
look
just
back
keep
at your
thinking,
testimony over the years, you've called
if
them a lot
I
worse
didn't
than that
live
as far as the
here,
church is
it would be
concerned.
hilarious.
And as far as
It's
the
like,
church
oh,
is
the
concerned,
Americans
we
made
just
Andrew
got the
Dice Clay
support of
president.
250
Hickory
military
dickory
leaders,
dock,
generals,
I'm gonna build a
law
wall,
enforcement, almost
snap
every law
ahead.
enforcement-
Guard, do whatever it takes, but you'd stop Brianna.
Chris Wallace just let Trump rant, and then when it was Biden's turn to talk, he just started a new question, and Biden did
You
the...
said it raises the question, quote, whether
Eyes
justice
black
could be
like a
equally
doll's
applied
eyes.
in a
Yes, there's systemic injustice in this country. In
I'm not going to hate on you for that, Joe. I can't say systemic
in
and
law
systemic
enforcement,
either.
And the way they risk their lives every day to take care of us.
If you
But
say
there
a
are
few
some
bad apples.
apples.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I knew he was going to say bad apples.
They have to be held accountable. They have to be held accountable. And what I'm going to do,
Like to
civil
throw
rights groups,
bad
and
apples
police
at both your
officers, and
heads.
police chiefs, and
You about law and order.
Violent
And you
crime.
still haven't mentioned.
Violent
Are you in
crime.
favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you in favor of law and order? Go ahead.
Yes, I'm in favor.
You asked a question, let him finish.
Law and order.
Loses
Law and order.
Let him.
Law and order with justice, where people
He
get
just
treated
keeps saying
fairly.
law and order, law and
the fact
order.
of the matter is,
Dum dum.
violent crime is
Dick
watched
Wolf
down.
just...
Much more.
He has.
All right, Mr. President, you're going to be very happy because we're now going to talk about law and order.
We had trouble with
Oh my God.
Democratic-run
Hey, stop
cities.
talking about law and order so we can talk about law and order. Did I mention law and order? Law and order.
And you often blame that on
And
different
bad apples.
mayors and
You can bring in a
I like
couple
how all
of
the
examples,
politicians
but
have
if you
that
look at
same little
Chicago,
flag
what's going
lapel
on in
pin.
Chicago, where,
There's
50,
gotta be a
40
tracking
people were
device in those
shot
things,
and
right?
8 died. And he doesn't want to say law and order because he can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters. And once he does that, it's over with. But
He
if
doesn't
ever
want to
got
say law
run
and
this
order because he
country,
can't, even
and
though
we
he
ran
just
it
said
the
it
way
8
we
times in
wanna
a
run
row,
it,
at one
we
time
would
yelling
have
it over what I was
suburbs
saying.
where
But he
it's
won't
on.
say it.
By
He
the
doesn't have
way,
the
our
balls.
suburb Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what.
Stand by?
Somebody's got to do something about Antifa.
Trump just
and
told the
left,
Proud
because
Boys to
this is
stand
not
back
a
and
right
stand
wing.
by.
This is a
The
left
dick is
wing.
that?
This
Holy
is
shit.
a left
Hitler
wing.
Youth, retreat, but, you know, be on your guard.
You get 300,
Biden fell
and
asleep.
Hopefully,
Wake up, Joe.
3 great Supreme Court judges, justices. That is a
He's up.
record.
He's up.
The likes of which very few people.
Eyes
You know, one
black
of the
like a
reasons
doll's
so many
eyes.
Judges, 300 judges. It's a record.
looking at both your records, why should voters elect you president?
Aha, he said
as
record, then
opposed
he
to
said record.
President
Jinx,
Trump?
you owe each other
President's
some
uninterrupted.
coke. Don Jr.
He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say
called him
anything to Putin
Putin's
about
puppy,
the bounty on the heads
which
of
would be an
American
awesome pop
soldiers.
His
song.
son got $3.5 million.
Number 8 with a bullet. Putin's puppy.
My son, President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your
A
campaign
third of this
agreed to as
debate
well,
is the
okay,
teacher
sir?
yelling at the students. Not the student, the one asshole.
That was a rhetorical
Put them in cones of silence.
Yes,
Just
yes, you may have.
All right, on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation it can't stay
There's
divided.
nothing
It
on
can't
his
be this
watch
way.
except for a
And
lien
speaking
that's
of
going
my
to have to be
son, the
given
way you
back
talk
in like
about the
6 months or
military,
whatever.
Where you talk about them being losers, we're heroes.
punch
and
him.
I resent
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking
I'm
about
talking about my
Violence
son,
is never
Joe Biden.
okay.
You're
I
talking
don't know.
about
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
about-
trees.
Trump
trees that are
totally
years old, and
confessed
they're
to
like
tax
timber,
evasion on
and
live
leaves
TV, and
and
everybody's just like,
everything else.
yeah,
You drop
we
a
know.
cigarette in there, the whole forest burns down.
Frost
You got
Nixon
that forest
2020,
burning.
big fat nothing burger. Trump just said they're planting 1 billion trees. He's like taking credit for shit Mr. Beast did. What an asshole.
I think a lot of things-
Oh Christ, he's talking about cleaning the bottom of the forest floors again.
A major country. It's a foreign
job.
Trump keeps looking over at his MAGA section, and like I can tell, like Don Jr. has that Oregon sign thing where it's just like a picture of a cheeseburger, and then Dennis Rodman crying, and then like, you know, somebody doing a jump rope, and then somebody's dog.
Look what's happened just in the
Oh,
Midwest
yeah,
where these
oh, yeah,
storms that
okay.
come through.
It's weird. Trump has been trying to have Biden be his candidate the whole time. And then now that Biden's here, he wants to debate Bernie Sanders. He's like, here's your plans. And Biden's like, no, that's Bernie Sanders' plans. And Bernie Sanders is like, these aren't my plans either. No one ever represents me right. That's a terrible impersonation. A perfect example of what I'm talking about. I have awesome impersonations. The best, most tremendous impersonations in history of impersonations. That's Woody Allen, I think. That's the thing, that's how much I dislike the dude. I never even bothered to try to like put any effort into getting him right. Getting him wrong makes me feel better. Oh, Chris Wallace, you're the worst, baby, baby. Why don't they just take Chris Wallace out and then just put a punching bag in his chair? Like, it's a symbolic metaphor for what he's pulling off here. I like how Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and he's like, I'll replace her with Amy Coney Barrett. Same shit. That was more my friend Ramon than Trump. But it's a work in progress, apparently. Shit, if he wins, I'm gonna have to have the rest of my life under a fabulous dictatorship to get it right. You win oppression, and you win oppression, and you win oppression. Why hasn't a proctologist come in and put their finger in Trump's mouth yet? Like, it seems like it would happen like 4 times a day. Like, yeah, we know president. The problem with the election is that the post office exists. When Trump talks, he like jerks off this giant penis the whole time he's speaking. This is my plan. Here's what we're gonna do. Wow, he's name dropped every city in the union. Has been like, they support Portland, Chicago, Minneapolis, Philadelphia. You all suck. Wow, this man knows how to campaign. Trump needs to just put on the beret and the military uniform, really steer into the slide. You know what I mean? Like, just, Biden's like, I will totally be honorable. And Trump's like, oh, how dare you, bitch.
If you were a certain person, you had no status in life. It was sort of a reversal. And if you look at the people, we would pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach very bad ideas and, frankly, very sick.
You have repeatedly. No, you've been talking.
You made a statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love to end it. I would love to end it.
You know, if you want to switch seats.
Holy shit, Trump just accused Biden of dropping the ball on swine flu. There are 200,000 people dead from COVID, you fucking moron. I'm just exhausted by Trump, like, breaking a law every 3rd day. And then even somebody who's like me, who doesn't really know that much about the law, is like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And then people are just like, no, apparently it's not. I mean, if you did it, it'd be illegal. But if he did it, no, it's all good. Anyways, our legal system is fine. There's nothing broken about it. Daddy happy juice.
It's incredible. I just heard, I read today, where
eyes black like a doll's eyes. Why don't we just start wearing togas and get it over with? This is some fall of the Roman Empire shit. Joe had a pen. I don't know. Where you get a pen from, Joe? Gotta sign some autographs. I don't know if Corn Pop's here or not. I might need to write an apology card. Well, in summary, Biden clearly won this debate. Cheers. Eyes black like a doll's eyes. Nice peaceful night at home. Maybe I'll watch something.
There is no escape. You forgot about vice presidents.
Please, no box wine this time, please. Okay, the heartburn. It's killing me.
No.
Here we go again. Welcome to the vice presidential debate. It was 18 years ago, or 7 days, I think, actually, that we had the last debate between the presidents. Now we have 2 vice presidential candidates in the ring, ready to get it on. Tonight, the parts of Kamala Harris the cop will be played by Woody, the sheriff. Somebody's poisoned the watering hole. And then Mike Pence will be played by Betty Boop. You can just pray the gay away. Boop, boop, be doop. Let's have a clean debate. Let's get ready to debate. But first things first. There, that's better. Sorry, okay, we're going to take this down, but I'm putting it back up later if you guys cough.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. How calm were you when
She
you
gave
were
him the
panicked about
Mr.
where you
Vice
were
President,
getting your
I'm
next role?
speaking.
How calm
And he
were
just
you
shut up and
when
was
your
like,
kids were
Over of health
Thank
care,
you. Thank
the
you.
Green New Deal, all
You've been told thank you 4 times. First topic, COVID. Kamala's answer is, you guys are idiots. And Pence's answer is, we're doing great on it. So, check mark to Kamala. Next question. Now Pence is going to try to lay the swine flu down again like it was a failure of the Biden-Obama administration.
When over 210,000 people have died and 7 million people probably have what will be in the future considered a pre-existing condition because you contracted the virus.
Reach on, sister.
Donald Trump is in court right
Somebody
now
get my
trying to get rid
snake.
of the Affordable Care Act. And I sacrifice
Holy
too much.
Mike Pence
because
has
of the
like
incompetence
one
of this
red
administration.
eye.
It is asking too much of the people.
He needs to be
It is
tested.
asking
He
too
needs
much
to
of
be
the people.
have his body taken out back and burned for the protection of everyone else. Kamala said when she became vice president, she immediately thought of her mother, and then you could see Pence kind of like think about Kamala's mother. So somebody's going to have a talking to with their wife when they get home. You impure thoughts having rascal. Shout out to Mike Pence's beard. She's sitting in the second row. Ever since Kamala told Mike to shut up, he has. Seems to me she's proven she's more effectual than he is.
I think Joe has asked me to serve with him because he knows
I said
that
be
we
quiet.
share, owes money to because the American.
If your boss at work knows what's in your urine or in your saliva, the idea that we don't need to know the health of the president? What is this, North Korea? No. Whatever answer you say.
Respect the fact that Joe Biden spent 47 years in public life. I respect your...
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President, and she went.
The American people have a president who was a businessman.
And I feel her. I'm here for it.
On Friday, we learned that
And through a plan that is about investing in infrastructure, something that Donald Trump said he would do. I remember hearing about some infrastructure week. I don't think it ever happened.
Yeah,
Biden will do that.
Trump's infrastructure week, that's my favorite. Yes, I'm under federal investigation, but, next week is supposed to be infrastructure week, but we can't have it now because I'm under federal investigation. Partisan politics. The whole time Kamala's just like,
$750 in taxes.
Talking about Willis? Kamala tucked her hair behind her ear because he's about to get it. Take off your earrings and your shoes. Go ahead. Just go get them. Fuck it. I'm not going to stop you.
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay. Which is why he passed a tax bill. If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage,
they're coming for you.
Senator Harris, thank you. Let me give you a chance to respond.
Well, I hope we have a chance to talk about health care because Obamacare was a disaster. The American people remember it well. And President Trump and I have a plan.
Obamacare was a disaster.
Protect
It's still going
for every
People
American.
remember it well.
Look,
It's
Senator
called the
Harris, you're
Affordable Care
entitled to your
Act.
own
It's the
opinion,
same
but not
thing, you
entitled to your own
moron.
facts.
That would strike down the Affordable Care Act. The President Trump says that he's going to protect people with pre-existing conditions, but he has not explained how he would do that. And that was one of the
Right
toughest
after
nuts to
Infrastructure
crack
Week.
when they were passing.
More taxes, more regulation, banning fracking.
Mention you co-sponsored the Green
He's not a
Deal in
moron. He's a
Congress.
liar. It's
But
worse.
Vice President Biden-
Let's talk about
the
jobs,
Vice President
baby.
earlier
Let's
referred
talk about
to
you
as
and
part
me.
of-
Let's talk about all the stuff that was ruined by your big orange jerk boss.
president's trade war
Let's
with
talk
China.
about jobs.
You lost
Let's talk
that
about
trade
jobs.
war. People know that Joe Biden will not. Is there going to be a job there
Mike,
for me?
I thought I told you to be
We're
quiet.
looking at people who are
More
trying to
Mike
figure
Pensive,
out how
less
they're gonna
Mike
pay
Pence.
rent by the
Okay?
end of the month. Almost.
Kamala says she wants to set the record
relationship with
straight.
China.
And
Competitors,
Pence is like, well, we should all get together and pray
enemies,
for that.
You have 2 minutes. Adversaries, enemies.
What's up with China? Are we friends? Are we enemies? Are we competitors? Secret lovers? Oh, she's quoting a Pew poll. Pew, 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 pew. That was awesome. That was a highlight moment. Pence
Senator
tried,
Harris,
instead of
we've seen
interrupting,
changes
he
in
shook his head
the
no
role of the
while she
United
was
States in
speaking.
terms of
And she
global
must have saw it in a monitor or
over the
something.
past 4
So as she was
years.
speaking, she started
And
going,
tougher times
and
do
then...
On every American. Joe Biden said twice in the debate.
Be honest.
Pence's red
Thank you.
eye
Thank
is
you,
giving me the
thank you, Senator
creeps.
Harris. Thank you, Vice
But we
President.
destroy the
Thank you, Vice
of
President.
terrorism
Thank you,
deal.
Vice President Pence.
And when Qasem
If I have to say
Soleimani was
thank you again,
traveling
Vice President
to
Pence, we
Baghdad,
stepping
he
outside.
Susan, the American people just
I
need
didn't,
to know.
Vice President Pence, I did not, excuse me,
Susan, the
I did
American
not
people just
create
need
the
to know
rules for tonight.
Joe Biden.
Your campaigns agreed to the rules.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game show. Mike Pence looks like.
And the failure
Mike
of
Pence looks like a
leadership
Ken
from
doll's
this
dad.
administration.
Pence looks like some sub-colonel in the Empire that Darth Vader would choke out on like day 3.
And Vice President Clinton have now decided that they hold in greater esteem and respect. We
Mike
mentioned
Pence
the-
looks like Paul
the
Ryan
trade
if he
deal,
saw a ghost.
the trade.
Mike Pence looks like the 8x10 in the insurance salesman of the month like wall. Looks like an old Charlie McCarthy doll. You're the dummy. No, you're the dummy. No, you're the dummy. No, you're the dummy. Mike Pence is what Chris Christie would look like if a gypsy touched his face and went thinner. Mike Pence looks like the picture of the district manager when you go into a Chili's. Mike Pence looks like a haunted doll possessed by the soul of a newscaster.
Abortions. You have 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Well, thank you for the question, but
Mike Pence is just like life-drainingly boring.
Our country, as opposed to passing a tax bill.
Senator, I know one of our judicial nominees, you actually
What happened? What happened?
attacked
I'm up.
because they
I'm
were
up.
members.
Hearings on Amy
I think they're
Coney
now on
Barrett's
the
nomination
third,
to
maybe
the
fourth
Supreme Court.
question.
Senator Harris,
We're currently
you'll be
7
there as a
days
member
into
of the
this.
committee.
Pro-life views. And
Thank you, Vice President.
So
Your
my
time
hope
is
is
up.
that when the hearing
Your
takes
time
place,
is
that
up.
Thank you, Vice President.
I said your time is up.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett will be respected.
Thank you, Vice
I said your time is up.
Voted and confirmed
Thank
with the
you.
Supreme Court. of the
Your time is up.
Senator Harris, you're
on the Supreme Court of the United States. But,
I'm up. I'm up. What
we'll
happened?
continue to stand strong for the right to life. When Joe Biden was vice president, we lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs. And President
Yeah, let's talk about packing the court then. Let's talk about the
Please.
fact. Yeah, I'm about to.
If you just shut up.
So,
Oh,
all right,
snap!
thank you, Senator. Let's go on and talk about the issue of.
She just
racial-
crossover dribbled
I
on
just
him.
want the record
And she's
reflect
like,
she
"What
never answered
happened?"
the question. So I think the American people
Thank
need
you.
to
Are you going to pack the
Joe
court? She said the way
Biden will
Trump
answer.
packed the court full of white judges. Out of 50 of them, none of them are black.
In March, Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room.
There's a fly on Pence's head.
for taking advantage of our veterans.
I thought it was my
And the
TV,
reality
but
of this is that we are talking
She's-
about an election in 27 days.
What the hell?
Where last week, the President of the United States took a debate stage in front of
she
70 million
got in the middle of
Americans
chewing him out, and a black
refused
fly
to
came and landed on his
condemn
head, I
white
think.
supremacists.
Yeah, and it's just like stuck there.
It wasn't like
It-
he didn't have
This
a
is crazy.
chance.
What's going on?
He
2020
didn't
is.
do it, and then he doubled down. And then he said, when pressed, stand
What
back,
in the?
stand by.
Am I watching The Omen?
And this is a part of a pattern of Donald Trump's. He called Mexicans
The fly left.
rapists and
The fly left.
criminals.
Fly
He
update.
instituted as his first act a
Fly is
Muslim
gone.
ban.
Oh, it's
He
one of them
on the
Corona
issue of
flies.
Charlottesville.
Kamala, look out for the
Where
Corona
people were
fly.
Peacefully protesting the need for racial justice. We're carrying
Sorry, she's
tiki
reading him the
torches,
riot act on some
shouting
important stuff, and I'm
racial
acting a fool. But
epithets.
that whole weird, interruption from
Anti-Semitic
Satan was kind of fascinating.
slurs separates
I bet
us.
right now
Vice
the
President,
number one
let me
trending
give you
topic
a
on
minute
Twitter
to
is the
respond.
Thank you,
flies.
Susan. I appreciate that very much.
Now Pence won't commit to a peaceful transfer of
I mean, there
power.
were documents released this week that the CIA actually made a referral to the FBI documenting that those allegations were coming from the Hillary Clinton campaign. And of course, we've all seen the avalanche.
Kamala's run into the same problem that Biden ran into, where it's like, I don't know where to begin with this lying jackass. So I just have to kind of stand here and accept lying jackassery as like the new norm.
So let me just say, I think we're going to win this election. President Trump and I are fighting.
So to each of you in turn, I'd like you to take 1 minute and respond to Brecklin. Vice President Harris, thank
Why
you,
are we
Vice
wasting
President
time
Pence.
answering
Thank you so
questions
much
for
being
8th
with
graders?
us
They don't get
tonight.
to vote.
Where Pence literally
Well,
said,
once again,
"I've gotta finish
I'm
this
going to go ahead
point,"
and give
and
this
then
one to
he
the
was
Dems,
allowed
but
to
it was
finish
closer
his
this
point
time.
while
Much
being
more
inside. I
than
think
I'm
people
happy with.
saw
I mean,
that back
it's
home,
to be
and I think
expected
it
because
did-
Trump is a
it
stammering
did
buffoon and a
really
clown,
She
but
was very
nevertheless,
effective, I thought, at the beginning of the debate.
it's going to be even a longer week until we find out if Trump is able to
And the inadequacy
debate next week, or will the whole world be on fire by then? Tune in and see.
People in the audience.
Previously on. I'm in a bit of one of those Saw movie scenarios. I have to drink box wine and watch the presidential debate. Trump just told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. Now we have two vice presidential candidates in the ring, ready to get it on. She got in the middle of chewing him out, and a black fly came and landed on his head, I think. Yeah, and it's just like stuck there. Now Pence won't commit to a peaceful transfer of power.
Documents released this 200,000 manufacturing jobs.
But the heartburn, it's killing me. Working on the debate game. That's the sound of... Hey, Don. What you doing? Oh, nothing. Just getting things ready for the debate. You know, just ready to rock and roll here. Get it over with. Got my cup. Got my 60s cup for drinking wine. Then I can think of laughing. Sock it to me, huh? All right. Let's do it.
Yeah, about that. Last week when you thought that there was no debate, there was two competing town halls, which was like a debate. You just had to flip back and forth. It was, we really needed someone to cover. So you weren't around, and we called in someone else, and now we kind of enjoy what they're doing, and we're just gonna have them do it instead of you.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, who did you get? Joe Biden looks like somebody took a cotton ball in for a fade. He's good. Damn. You know the economy sucks when you lose your being held captive gig. Yeah, he's good. Anyways, so then I'm free? I don't have to do this? We're all good here? I don't have to drink the wine?
The puppet and I think maybe you have a drinking problem.
The only reason I was drinking the wine is because... Okay,
well, take it easy, loser. Enjoy the debates. Sober.
Wow. Well, that was overacted and awful. Anyways, let's watch the debate. Okay, tonight's moderator is Kristen Welker from News. She's from the News. I see you, Kristen. They're going to have a mute button now. So from now on, when Trump talks, they just going to bring out the Oscars band and play him off.
Including record numbers here in
Wrap
Tennessee.
it up, yo! Trump, Biden, and the moderator are all wearing the same, like a variation on the same blue suit. Trump has a red tie, Biden has a blue tie, the moderator has no tie, she has like kind of a blouse kind of thing underneath it. If it wasn't for spray tans, McDonald's, and being a woman, I wouldn't be able to tell these people apart.
It's not my fault that he came here. It's China's fault. And you know what? It's not Joe's fault that he came here either. It's China's fault.
Wow, that's very magnanimous of you. Trump admits that it's not Biden's fault that the coronavirus is here. Good for you, Trump. You've come a long way in 4 years, you dipshit. Oh snap, Joe hit him with ineptitude. I like it. Trump doesn't know ineptitude. I mean, he lives it, but he doesn't know how to spell it for sure. Trump's shoulder pads are ridiculous. Like, he needs to be playing linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. It looks like they left the hanger in his suit when he picked it up from the dry cleaning. It's just kind of like ridiculous.
Schools, they need a lot of money to open. They need to deal with ventilation systems.
Are you a Art Nouveau woman in the 80s? Do you have an asymmetrical haircut? People try to act like Joe's not sharp, and he does get tired this late because, you know, Grandpa's used to having Matlock on and being in bed, but I bet he'll be up at 4:30 eating oatmeal.
All you teachers out there, not that many of you are going to die, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come on.
President Trump, let me
Joe,
go
hit him with the sarcasm.
Trump
Trump is behaving himself, and you can tell it's slowly killing him inside, like a cancer, like just being forced to stand and behave, and like there's any hint of being, like, having any civility just doesn't even apply to Tarzan's brain.
We will protect him. We have the best testing in the world by far. That's why we have so many cases.
Let me follow up with you before we move on to our next section. President Trump, this week you called Dr. Anthony Fauci the nation.
Nobody knew.
Oh, Trump's talking shit about Fauci. You talk about my boy Tone. Not having it.
We've learned a lot. But Anthony said, don't wear masks. Now he wants to
Me and
wear masks.
Fauci would be an
Anthony
awesome
also
TV
said,
show.
If you look back,
Like, he just rides around on my back like Yoda.
This is no problem. This is us.
This is like the non-specific debate. It's like, I have a young son, your friend in Michigan. Like, he has an acquaintance who. Like, are you guys mobsters and you think the FBI might be listening? Yeah, that guy. It's not going to work out with that thing, with that stuff the other day. Yeah, you know, the guy. Just that guy.
He's being used as a Russian pawn. He's being fed information that is Russian, that is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens. And then you find out that
You're slick, Joe. You're slick.
About Russia is wanting to make sure that
He acted like he shouldn't have brought up the Rudy Giuliani
I know them. And
everything
they know me.
because he knew it connected to his son. But really, he was in advance kind of laying the pipework to have that discussion later, so when Trump tries to bring it up, people are like, yeah, he already said your boy's a nut, that information's unreliable. And you can see Trump processing it right now. His brain's just like...
Any country that interferes with us...
Moscow, and it was the mayor of Moscow's wife, and you got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million, and... You know,
I have reason to believe you have connections to the Loch Ness Monster. You know, the Antifa and Black Lives Matter painted your house. I have reason to believe that, you know, it's quite possible that the Hitler never died, and his frozen head is in a box at DNC headquarters. If you're a Russian hacker, find Hitler's frozen head.
You know, I've got the NATO countries to put up an extra $130 billion, going to $420 billion of gold.
Joe's got like this frustrated, like, Bruce Banner thing going where he, like, kind of wants to Hulk smash, but he's fighting it back, and it's just like this, like, total internal rage where he's
what should have been Ukraine. You handed it to them, but you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot
Joe
of money.
Smash!
I think you have to clean it up and talk to the American people. Maybe you can
Joe
do it
has
right now.
good, I'm hearing your BS, I'm just not letting it penetrate my consciousness face. Like Joe says stuff, and then he's just like...
Any foreign source ever in my life. We learned it, and I
like that. He's like, I've never taken money whatsoever, ever.
I'm going to release them as soon as
Don't
we
wave
can.
your
I
little
wanna
tiny
do it,
hands at
and it'll
me,
show how
you
successful
creepy
our
hobbit.
rate is.
Debate 1, he spent the whole time, like, kind of, like, invisibly masturbating King Kong.
Tens of millions of dollars.
And then now this time, he's doing, like, this imaginary accordion thing. Like, he works in an Italian restaurant, you know, is there when you're ready to propose.
It's an estimate. They think I may
Thank
have
you.
to pay tax.
Lady in the Tramp will be eating spaghetti later. Go take your break and, you know, loosen up your elbows.
Excuse me. And it wasn't written whenever they write this. They keep talking about $750, which I think is a filing fee. Let me just tell you, I prepaid millions of dollars.
I don't like little booties. I like big booties. I don't like little booties. I like big booties. Sometimes the under booty, but always the wide booty. Sometimes the top booty, big booty, little booty, big booty, little booty, big booty.
We have to give 10% to the big.
They have like this giant Declaration of Independence behind both of the candidates while they're speaking. And for Trump, it's like the Babadook just lurking behind him, creeping up on you like, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you. Everybody knows about that bank account. The other day I was in line at Arby's and the guy was like, hey, after I get some curly fries, you want to talk about Trump's Chinese bank account that he withdrew $25 million out of real quick? It was listed. You gotta admit though, Trump has Biden on this having ne'er-do-well kids thing. You know what I mean? The Trump kids are all just impeccable. Like, fine, upstanding citizens.
And then, unlike
Don't you
him,
point at
where
Kristen
he's
Welker
vice
and say,
president
excuse
and
me,
he
she's
does
doing a good
business,
job. I'm not
I
going to
then
tolerate
decided
you
to
with
run
the...
before I
Oh,
even
snap.
planned for
He went from
president,
accordion to
let
judo
alone became
chop.
president.
Now we're
Big
on
difference.
something.
He is
Parent in regards
Kristen
to
Welker has one of them, like,
coronavirus. If you were
gamer
president, Would
chairs.
you make China
Like,
pay? And please
pew,
be
pew, pew,
specific.
pew.
What would that
Yeah,
look
girl,
like?
Kristen.
What I'd make China do is
Put on a
play by
headset in the middle
international
of all
rules,
this. Just...
not like he has done.
wanting to make
This
$10
fool
million
just called
a
an
year
email
for
strong.
introductions.
President Trump, on China policy, though.
Wow.
What are you going to
You
do?
will call
What
anything
specifically
strong.
Are you going to do to make
This
China
ice cream,
pay?
I can't cut it. It's very strong ice cream. It's butter. It's fresh out of the fridge. I can't. It's strong. It's very strong butter. Kristen Welker, as opposed to thank you, which the other two doormats use, she goes with okay.
The substantive issues.
I like that. She's okayed him like 3 times. Okay.
It was the single biggest problem he thought that our country.
Okay, let's move on to American.
The biggest problem we have.
President Trump, how do you fix a broken
He
watch?
indicated we would
Well,
be at war with North Korea.
Hillary Clinton.
Guess what?
Are there any conditions that you would meet with
All right,
Kim
let's move
Jong-un?
on to
Yeah,
American
would he get rid of that
families.
ridiculous fade?
10 seconds.
It's
They tried to
terrible.
meet with him.
Like,
He wouldn't do it.
it's like
He
a
didn't
box.
like-
It looks kind of like him in that jacket. He looks like Bobby Brown in the My Prerogative. Like,
Respond to that
He
before we
wouldn't
move
do
on.
it. And it's okay.
We have a lot of
President
time. We have
Trump,
a lot of
nobody
questions to
cares.
get to.
Really,
Let's
nobody
respond.
cares. We talked to Melania. She said nobody cares. We talked to Donald Jr. He said nobody cares.
Come on.
We talked to Eric, and he said, "Oh, thank God."
Today
We're
there
going to talk
was a
about
key
health
vote
care.
in the
I was afraid they were going to say
Court
law and
Justice
order.
Coney Barrett and health.
Playing the invisible accordion.
Through the
Doing the judo. Damn it, Joe, don't say things like you like private insurance. It's like, come on, I'm trying to root for you.
They wanted to go to something else. Lastly, we're going to make
You're
sure
offending
we're in a
my liberal
situation that
cuckboy
we
politics.
Actually, your health insurance should come.
It's kind of cool. Trump knows that he's losing because Biden is more sincere. And he understands that that's not a trait he can, like, display. So he's just stuck in this weird thing where he just has to, like, be annoyed that the dude has, like, a compassion in his soul. Trump just said that Kamala Harris is more liberal than Bernie Sanders, which is news to Kamala, Bernie, me, and you.
This one she doesn't want. It's near the election because she thinks it helps her politically. I think it hurts her politically.
All right, Mr. Vice President,
You know, the Republican leader in the United States Senate said he can't pass it. He will not be able to pass it. He does not have Republican votes. Why ain't he talking to his Republican?
In different places, I know different places. They're all different. Some places, $15 is not so bad. In other places, other states, $15.
Oh boy, classic Trump. Different places are different places, and I know different places. If Joe gets any more angry, he's going to use the word hogwash, and then that's going to elevate into malarkey. Like, I feel like malarkey is just on its way. Trump wants to run on the Biden is ineffectual because he had a bunch of time to do it and he didn't do it. Not understanding that he's the incumbent. It's like, Trump, you're the current president. Like, everything's a mess.
You come to the United States and you make your
What are you
case
talking about?
That, you don't have to worry about it.
Let's move on to the next
You have
section.
525 kids not knowing where
Trump just said,
they're going to be and lost their
if you wanted to do that, why didn't you do it when you were in office? And Biden said, I did do it, you undid it. And then Trump said, I should know about the laws because I undid
Part of
them.
that experience is something called the talk. It happens regardless of class and income.
Trump claimed after Abraham Lincoln, he's done more for black people than anybody, any president. I bet if you took a survey of black people, they would tell you just straight out, Trump is my second favorite president.
Cried in my office. They cried in the Oval Office.
Right after
2 weeks
Chester
later,
A.
they're out
Arthur.
saying, gee, we have to defeat him. Criminal justice reform, prison reform. Has anybody done what I've done for the black community? I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln. Has anybody done what I've done for the
Biden
black
condescendingly called Trump Abraham Lincoln, and now Trump wants to argue whether or not he's Abraham Lincoln.
Tens of thousands of black
You said I was Abraham Lincoln.
mostly in jail.
All right, let me not.
Trump is the least racist person. Yay! We found him. The search is over, guys. Congratulations to everybody who applied, but We have a winner.
It's all talk, no action with these politicians. Why didn't he get it?
With these
That's what I'm gonna do
politicians,
when I become
do
president.
you know you're the
You
president?
were vice president along with Obama
Like,
as your president. Your
Sometimes
leader,
I swear
for
this
8
dude
years.
walked
Why didn't you
underneath
get it done?
a construction
You had 8
site and a
years
bunch
to
of
get it
bricks
done.
fell on
Now
his
you're
head,
saying
and
you're
then they
gonna
were
get it
like,
done
"Come with us, you have a
because
debate." And he's
you're
like,
all talk
"Okay."
and no action. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive, kills all the birds, it's very intermittent, got a lot of problems, and they happen to make the windmills in both Germany and China, and the fumes coming up, if you're a believer in carbon emission, the fumes coming up to make these massive windmills is more than anything that we're talking about with natural gas, which is very clean. One other thing.
Trump begging for
Takes
votes,
everything
dude.
out of
Anything he
context, but the
can
point
to
is,
just.
look, we have to move.
Hey,
forward
Ohio! I heard
in net
Biden called your
zero
mom
emissions.
fat.
One
Is he gonna
final
get
question
China
to
to
vote.
do it?
No, we're finished with
Is
this.
he
We
going
have
to
to
get
move on
China
to
to
our
do it?
No, we're
final
finished with
question.
this.
We have to move
Kristen
on to our
Welker,
final question.
did you ever know that you're my hero?
This is about leadership, gentlemen.
Trump loves saying the China virus.
Wuhan
Wuhan got you all in check.
Enormous opportunities.
It's
to make
fantastic.
things
Every
better.
time,
We can
like,
grow
Biden
this
says
economy.
anything that's full
We
of
can
hope,
deal
it
with
just
systemic
sucks the
racism.
life out of
At the
Trump,
same
like somebody
time,
throwing
we can
water
make
on a
sure
witch.
that our
Like he's,
economy is being
we're gonna fix
run
the.
and
Oh
moved and
no,
motivated
we're
by
gonna clean the
clean
air.
energy,
What a
creating millions
cruel
of new
world,
jobs.
cruel
And that's the
world.
fact.
All right, I want to thank you both for a very robust hour and a half of fantastic debate. Really appreciate it. President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden, thank you to Belmont University for hosting us tonight. And most importantly,
Yeah, Belmont
thank you to
University,
those watching
thanks.
tonight.
Well, that ended abruptly. On the whole, it was another debate. The only good thing about it is it was the last debate. If Trump wins, it might be the last debate ever, because it would be the last election ever, and, yeah. Well, anyways, it appears as if I've survived Jigsaw's puzzle of politics, and, this time I didn't even have to drink box wine. So, you know, all good in the world, I guess.
Good job. Maybe we will see you on election day.